And the reason why Jax picked this manga is because this is basically a depiction of his life story. So he hates his life. Hello all of my otaku friends, my name is Profitaku and welcome back to my channel for my June manga haul. We have a huge variety of things this month from 8 different publishers. There's definitely something in here for you. Stay tuned. Now before we get started today, this manga haul video is generously sponsored by the new indie comic Pajama Bodyguard by Yubroki. Alright, you ready for the premise? We have the President of the United States. He hires a bodyguard for 2 things: to save his daughter's birthday and to help him with his receding hairline. What could possibly go wrong? The one thing I absolutely love about this comic is that at the surface level, it seems like a really basic storyline, but the level of absurdity just kept getting crazier and crazier. This comic contains several American cultural puns that just made this such a unique read. And on top of that, I am a huge sucker for face gags and meme faces, and this comic just checked all those boxes. Now, where can you read this comic? You can actually read it completely for free. Down in the description below, I'll leave the link to the comic where you can go ahead and check this out for yourself. And if you love it and you want to support independent comic creators, they have published the book physically through Amazon. I'll leave a link down in the description where you can buy it from there. If you buy the physical print of the comic, there is a 5-page bonus chapter, and if you are a physical manga or comic collector, you will totally resonate with it. It was honestly my favorite part of the read, and I was just dying of laughter. So thanks again to Yuki for sponsoring this video. Check out Pajama Bodyguard, and let's get started with the June manga haul. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video. We're doing a Yen Press giveaway of 3 of their volumes of some amazing series. And speaking of Yen Press, this first section is for them. These are all the things that were either sent to me from them for review purposes or things I picked up on my own. Thanks so much to Yen Press and the team for continuing to support this channel. First up here is the super special release from Mori Sensei, and that is Scribbles in this hardcover format. This is basically a sketchbook slash art book of different things that she's created over the years, and what I really like about it is that it also provides commentary, things that she was thinking about as she was making each of the illustrations. Super unique, super cool, super glad that Yen Press decided to print this. This is such high quality. Next up here is Handyman Sato in Another World Volume 1, brand new series. Of course it's isekai, of course there's prejudice against isekai, but let me tell you, I'm all for a really interesting shtick and a handyman. Yeah, this is one. Another new volume 1 that got released this month is The Essence of Being a Muse. This is one that's been on my radar. It follows a girl who's starting a new life after being in an oppressive household for most of her life, and this just seems super dark, super messed up. Love this cover, super intrigued. A continuation of a series that I did enjoy the volume 1 of, we have The Princess of Convenient Plot Devices. It was a little messy in the first volume. It follows a Fujoshi who gets reincarnated into her favorite BL series, and she's trying to navigate this world. It was a little confuzzled. You've got 2 different ideas going on. Let's see how they shell it out in the second volume. Next up here is volume 3 of No Longer Heroine. This is by Koda Sensei. This is the same mangaka who does My Special One, published by Viz. I really do like My Special One, which is why I picked this series up. I don't know anything about it. A new volume 1 manhwa that got released this month is Bloody Sweet. This is a 4-volume series following a girl in high school who gets bullied a lot, and she finds her knight in shining armor and ends up being this vampire right here. I absolutely love these Eyes Press releases. I love the cover. I love how colorful it is. I love the high quality paper. You just really can't beat this manhwa imprint, so highly recommend any of their series from this line. Moving on to a Yuri series, volume 2 of Assorted Entanglement. It follows an 18-year-old bartender who gets in a relationship with a 28-year-old office worker. Different personalities. There's some different characters and different couples in here as well. Very short and episodic as well. Definitely one to put on your radar if you're into the Yuri genre. Oh god, everybody put the warning signs on. We have Saran Wrap here. We have apparently Disillusioned Adventurers Will Save the World, Volume 2. This is a manga adaptation of a light novel series that follows a group of adventurers that were all backstabbed by their former clans, and then they come together to form their own group. I did thoroughly enjoy Volume 1. It was a lot of fun. It turned your brain off read, so I cannot wait to see what this one holds. Now here's one of the most exciting things I was looking forward to this month. We have Appare Ranman. This is 1 to 3 in the Omnibus Complete Collectors format. This is the manga adaptation of the original anime. Think of this like Mad Max. You know, I don't think I have any racing manga in my collection, so this is just something super unique to have, and I'm just super glad we got this in English. Here we are with the light novel series. We have the ephemeral scenes of Setsuna's journey. This definitely gives me cozy vibes. Think Spice and Wolf, but with like reincarnation and fantasy. They're going around and looking at different ways of life of different people. Here we are with one of Yen Press's heaviest hitter series. We have the Case Study of Vanitas Volume 9, and I have something to confess. I have not read Case Study of Vanitas or Pandora Hearts. I've only read their one-shot Crimson Shell. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I'm super ashamed that I have not read any of this mangaka's like crutch series. Definitely something I want to do by the end of this year. 2 Volume 3 manhwa here to show off. We have Tomb Raider King Volume 3 as well as The Remarried Empress Volume 3. I thoroughly am enjoying both of these manhwa, and I will continue to enjoy them. A new Volume 1 that I purchased from Blue Tempest is Dead Mount Death Play. This is really cool. I love these horizontal covers. I got put onto this series from the anime. It got released to very high acclaim. I saw it. I was like, ooh, this looks super intriguing. And I was like, let me just check out Volume 1. Seems super dark, super gritty, and I want to check out the original source material. On the completely opposite side of that, we have Hi, I'm a Witch, and my crush wants me to make a love potion Volume 1. I can finally go ahead and start this series, but it follows a witch who lives secluded in the forest, and then you have the knight who wants her to make a love potion, a cute shoujo romance. From the used marketplace, we have 10 light novel volumes of Magical Girl Raising Project. If I can give an analogy to the series, think like Magical Girls, like the darkness of Madoka Magica, but think like the Hunger Games. It's all the magical girls fighting each other. Seems super intriguing. I love Magical Girl series, but I also like darker twists like in the Madoka Magica universe. I cannot wait to get started with this series. And last but not least in this section, we actually have a novel, and that is Yami Hara, and this follows a group of people who are all from different walks of life. They seem normal, but then the cracks in their lives start to show, and then these cracks get bigger and bigger, and it turns into a really dark thriller mess. Super intrigued to check this one out. Even though it's a novel, it's only like a little less than 300 pages, so it's definitely not a long read. All right, and to start off our next part of the video, we have a new segment on this channel. We have Jax's Manga of the Month. I'm sorry, oh god. I have to do this for the people. This is important to me. So the manga that Jax picked this month is The Masterful Cat is Depressed Again Today, Volume 6. And the reason why Jax picked this manga is because this is basically a depiction of his life story. So he hates his life. He is a very smart, masterful cat. He's very depressed living with me, and I love this manga, and you should pick it up. Moving on to Volume 5 of Kemono Jihen. I absolutely love this shonen series. The cast of characters is what totally makes it for me. Yeah, the original storyline is not very original, but man, the character interactions are just great. Absolutely love it. Next up is a Volume 3 of a series that a lot of my MangaTube and Instagram friends absolutely love, and that is Yakuza's Fiancé. I have now stockpiled 3 volumes so I can finally get started with this series. A new Omnibus Volume 1 from 7 Seas. We have Don't Call It Mystery Omnibus Volumes 1 and 2, and this is from the same mangaka as Basara. But this story follows this college student who gets framed for murder, and it's up to him to find out the mystery of who the actual killer is. A warm and fluffy series, one of my favorite ongoing series right now. We have Skip and Loafer Volume 7. I just absolutely love this series. The main characters, both the boy and the girl, are absolutely phenomenal. The anime has been doing absolutely fantastic, but I definitely recommend the source material. It is such a good ride. A finish to a series. We have the Savior's Book Cafe story in Another World Volume 5. You know, this is like the MangaTuber's manga. It's not the highest rated thing in the world. It's not anything that's just gonna blow your mind, but it's just a very well written story, and I cannot wait to see how it finishes in this volume. And last up from 7 Seas, we have Yokohama Kodashi Kiko Volume 2. This is in the omnibus format, so this compiles volumes 4, 5, and 6. This is a classic 90s slice of life manga following Alpha-san, a robot who lives in a cafe by the waterside, as she watches humanity in its final days as climate change has caused the water to rise and much of the population to have perished. Yes, it seems like a very dark premise, but this is a very introspective manga. Lots of thinking to do, just about slowing down in life and just enjoying the little moments. This next section is all the Kodansha and vertical things that I picked up this month, and first off is with a banger, one of my favorite shoujo series, In the Clear Moonlit Dusk by Mika Yamamori. All of her series are absolutely phenomenal. Daytime Shooting Star, Tsubaki Cho Lonely Planet, and In the Clear Moonlit Dusk. Ironically, they're all put out by different publishers, so yeah, it's a little bit weird, but hey, I'm just glad that we have this stuff. Here we are with the penultimate volume of a series. We have volume 33 of Fire Force. I will read this and then I will anxiously wait for the last volume 34. A new isekai series that really intrigued me. I love the title, so I decided to pick it up. It's Saving 80,000 Gold in Another World for My Retirement. This is a manga adaptation of a light novel series, and Kodansha normally doesn't do this. They really kind of leave that to Yen Press, so that's super interesting, but I am hoping that this is a good series. It's not a stereotypical dumb isekai, and whether this is an actual good manga adaptation. Here we are with one of Kodansha's heavy hitter ongoing series right now. We have Blue Period volume 13. Blue Period definitely kind of took a dip for me in the middle volumes like 7, 8, 9, and 10, but now I have stockpiled 3 volumes, so I will go ahead and read these 3 volumes and kind of make my final decision of whether I actually want to continue this series. A volume 2 of a series I was thoroughly surprised that I actually liked. We have Welcome to Demon School Iruma-Kun. This is a beloved shonen series that a lot of people were requesting to get published in English. We finally got it. I thoroughly enjoyed volume 1 about this boy who is a human who ends up going to demon school. Seems kind of stereotypical, but it's done very well in the first volume, so I cannot wait to see where this one goes. Another penultimate volume, we have volume 15 of Something's Wrong With Us. This is a 16 volume series, and then Kodansha's actually said they're going to release the 3 side story volumes, so 17, 18, and 19. I have not read Something's Wrong With Us. I picked this up at the Right Stuff winter sale last winter, so I'm waiting for volume 16. This is definitely a bingeable series and not one that they want to read volume by volume from what I heard, so that's why I decided to wait. And last up in this section is a shoujo manga, A Condition Called Love volume 3. You know, this definitely needs a 3 volume rule because volume 1 was it was a little bit weird. There are some faults with the main character, male character. Then we get to volume 2, a lot of that stuff gets shelled out, so I do recommend this series. I have thoroughly enjoyed it and I cannot wait to see what this momentum takes us through volume 3. This next section are going to be all the individual volumes that I got from smaller publishers. First up, from Square Enix, we have My Dress Up Darling volume 9. I cannot believe we have 9 volumes of this. I'm really appreciative to Square Enix for putting out a great release, and I cannot wait to get into this volume. From Dempa, we have a volume 1 of a series that was delayed like 3 or 4 times, and everybody thought it wasn't actually going to happen. It did, and we have March Comes In Like a Lion. This is a critically acclaimed slice of life manga series. The anime is an absolute killer from what I've heard, but this release is absolutely beautiful. For $13, you get beautiful French flaps, amazing full color pages, and you even get a poster here at the beginning. And let me go ahead and see if I can pull this out for you guys to see, but this is absolutely incredible. Such a great release for the price point. But the story follows a 17-year-old boy who's a shogi player who has lost his family at a very young age, and it's about his story of redemption after coming in contact with 2 sisters. From One Piece Books, we have Usatoki Rhetoric volume 3. This is an 8-volume josei series. I enjoyed volume 1. I haven't read volume 2, so I'm going to go ahead and read 2 and 3 together and then make my final decision of whether I'm going to really keep going with this series. I thought volume 1 was good, but definitely wasn't something where I was like, okay, this is something I have to pick up. But for those of you who don't know, it follows a girl who can detect when people are lying. She gets kicked out of her village, and then she ends up partnering with the detective to solve mysteries. This last section here is going to be all the Viz Media stuff that I picked up. This is the largest part of the haul today, and first up we have volume 2 of Chojin X. I did a whole volume 1 first impressions. I thoroughly enjoyed it, so I cannot wait to see what the potential is in volume 2. Next up, from the duo who created Death Note, we have their newest serializing work. We have Shoha Shoten. This is a shonen stand-up comedy type of manga. Now that I have the 2 volumes, I will go ahead and read both of them and then make my final decision. And speaking of this duo, I also picked up another one of their series. It's only a 3-volume series, and that is School Judgment. It follows these elementary school kids who, when they have conflicts, they come together and they solve these conflicts through a court of law. It's only 3 volumes long. Apparently it's not very good, so I don't have very much expectations for this, but I got this on the cheap zone. Might as well try it out. Next up, from Ray Toma, a beloved shoujo mangaka, we have The King's Beast volume 10. I thoroughly enjoyed the first 2 volumes of this, and then I just stopped reading it because I was reading some other things. I really need to get back on this train and just all of Toma Sensei's works in general. From the Shonen Jump line, we have My Hero Academia volume 34. I don't know what's going on in the latest volumes. I've only watched up to like season 4 of the anime, so I'm thoroughly behind, but when I do ingest the series again, I do want to do it in the manga format. Another shoujo series here, we have My Special One volume Volume 1 from Kodansha, the same mangaka who did No Longer Heroine, but this is a series that I thoroughly enjoyed Volume 1 of, and I did do a first impressions of this volume as well. I cannot wait to see what Volume 2 brings us. Continuing on the Shonen Jump line, we have Sakamoto Days Volume 8. This is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, ongoing like battle shonen-y series right now. It's a lot of fun, total turn your brain off. It's not too complicated. There's a lot of dark, gritty action, but it balances itself out well with the rest of the characters and the different scenarios. And a Shonen Jump series that's definitely on the chopping block here, we have Mission Yozakura Family Volume 5. I will read this Volume 5 and decide for myself whether this is one I want to physically collect or go ahead and cut from the collection. Next up in the rom-com realm, we have Love's in Sight Volume 2. It follows a girl who is legally blind, and then she gets intertwined with a Yakuza guy. A lot of fun. I enjoyed Volume 1. It's a 4 coma, and I stated before my reading log that the 4 coma doesn't necessarily flow very well, but the episodes were interesting enough, so I will give Volume 2 a try and reassess from then. Here's a one-shot from Tatsuki Fujimoto. We have Goodbye Eri, and you know what I have to say about Tatsuki Fujimoto, I did not necessarily like Chainsaw Man that much. I went and sold that off. I did like their one-shot look back, and I really did enjoy the one-shot compilation of 17 to 21, so I'm super excited about this because I heard this is like the best one-shot out of all the one-shots out there, so I will ingest this and maybe consider doing Fire Punch in the future. One of my favorite ongoing seinen series right now that's almost done, and that is Golden Kamuy Volume 29. I think this ends at 31 or 32, but we're definitely in the final arc. This is ramping up to be something very special. From the Beastars universe, we have Beast Complex Volume 3. I have Volume 1, skipped Volume 2 for some reason. We have Volume 3. I read Volume 1 of Beastars. I did enjoy it. I don't know why I just stopped, but I really need to go ahead and read the whole thing because it's just sitting on my shelf right now. Another shoujo series that I'm having an absolute blast with is Rainbow Days Volume 4. Volume 3 brought everything back to the main thing being the main thing, so I have so much hope for Volume 4. Next up is Volume 8, and I cannot believe we're already here at Volume 8. I feel like Volume 1 just got released like yesterday, but it was like several years ago, and that is Frieren Beyond Journey's End. A phenomenal series, such an introspective look at yourself. What does friendship mean to you? The cast of characters, specifically Frieren, are so well written. This is a slice of life series you have to put in your collection. A gritty seinen series that I thoroughly enjoy is Volume 6 in the omnibus format of Alice in Borderland. I have Volume 4. I skipped Volume 5 for some reason, and here we are with Volume 6. I really need to get Volume 5 because I need to read that one. That's like the next one up, but yes, this compiles 11 and 12 of the series. Here we are with a Volume 2 of a romance slice of life series that blew me away from Volume 1, and that is Insomniacs After School, that follow two insomniacs that cannot sleep at night. They find solace within each other. They go to the school observatory to find sleep, peace, and quiet. Such an interesting premise and so well written. The pacing was phenomenal in the first volume. This has my highest expectations and potential. Now this next set is Volumes 1 to 12, complete of a series that I read digitally through the Viz Media app, and I have talked about it in previous reading logs, but that is Daytime Shooting Star by Mika Yamamori. After finishing the series digitally, I was like, you know, I'd love to have this physically in my collection for a reread and just to help bolster my shoujo collection and make sure that I have all of Mika Yamamori's work, so I decided to pick this up and I got it for a great price. Super excited to have it for the eventual reread in the future. Last up in this manga haul is a manga slash graphic novel. This is Wolverine Snicked, and this is done by the mangaka who's done Blam and Knights of Sidonia. I picked this up because the cover art looked great. I do like Wolverine as a character. I think he's super cool. Just kind of flipping through it, the artwork looks fantastic. I don't have the highest expectations for this, but I'm hoping at least it's just a lot of fun. Now let's go into this giveaway information for residents of the United States, and I just want to be clear, I know these 2 volumes were things that I was supposed to give away in the past, but I had notified 5 different people that they had won this and they never responded to me, so we're just gonna go ahead and do this again in this video. If I comment on your thing, make sure you respond to me through email or Instagram. But to win this giveaway, do 3 things for me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, number 1. Number 2, make sure you like this video, and number 3, make sure you leave a comment down below with the hashtag YP giveaway. Just tell me what your favorite Yen Press series is. They have such a wide catalog of manga, but if you win this giveaway, you're going to be able to get the Horizon Volume 1, Villains Are Destined to Die Volume 3, and Shadow's House Volume 3. All 3 series I absolutely love. And that is it for my manga haul for June 2023. I hope you enjoyed the content, and I hope you enjoyed the vast array of things that I picked up this month. As always, if you enjoy the content of my videos, make sure you hit that like button, tap the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you know when more of my videos come out, and I will see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.